Good morning to my dear students. Welcome to biology. Today it is lecture number 3 and we are discussing class 12 biology chapter 1 reproduction in organism. I hope that all of you have gone through lecture 1 and lecture 2, and along with it you have noted down in your biology copy. So in lecture 1 and lecture 2 we have discussed about reproduction, types of reproduction and asexual reproduction. And asexual reproduction, some common methods that are involved in asexual reproduction. Today we will continue from there, and today we will discuss on topic asexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction and common methods in asexual reproduction. So already we have discussed that how lower animals or lower organism shows asexual reproduction to increase their number. Today we will discuss how through asexual reproduction higher plants also increase their number. Asexual reproduction in higher plants. So asexual reproduction in higher plants is termed as vegetative propagation. So higher plants, we may say higher plants means the flowering plants. So we may consider the higher plants means in plant kingdom the higher plant or higher evolved plants are angiosperm, or we can say flowering plants. So when the plant vegetative part, for example root, stem, leaves, these are known as vegetative parts. If these vegetative parts take part in reproduction process, then the process is known as vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation are of two types. Number 1, natural vegetative propagation. So the term itself is said that naturally the reproduction will occur among the plants. So if naturally the thing happens, then we will call it as a natural vegetative propagation. And number 2, artificial vegetative propagation. So in this reproduction process human involvement is seen, so because of which it is known as artificial vegetative propagation. So today we will discuss on natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. So I hope that you have understood it, what is the meaning of vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation in simple term is asexual reproduction in plants. So now let us discuss on natural vegetative propagation. So natural vegetative propagation means in this method some of the vegetative parts of the plant such as root, leaves, stems will take part in reproduction process. Now some of the type of this natural vegetative propagation are: number 1, propagation by roots; number 2, propagation by stems; number 3, propagation by leaves; number 4, propagation by bluebills. So these are the 4 methods of propagation, or we may say 4 methods of natural vegetative propagation through which plants may increase their number asexually. Now let us see one by one what are they. Number 1, natural vegetative propagation. Number 1 is propagation by roots. Already we have learned about roots, different type of roots and functions of roots. So about root, we have learned that different types of roots: tap root, adventitious root, then fibrous root. So here propagation by roots, that means through roots, which is a vegetative part of the plant, they may increase their number. So propagation by roots, tap roots as well as adventitious roots of some plant develop adventitious buds to form new plants. So here in this method, tap roots or it may be adventitious roots of the plant will develop some buds, and from that buds new plants will be developed. So example is sweet potato. We have seen sweet potato, and I hope that you have tasted sweet potatoes. So sweet potato is an example of modified root. So the solen or the storage root of sweet potato is a modified root. Again, one example is given, shiso. So shiso plant, we may gain another plant from their root part. So I hope that you have understood what is propagation by roots. So now some example of modified taproot. So modified taproot means the main root, and some example here are given. So example are radish, carrot and turnip, and the picture is also shown that radish, carrot and turnip, these are example of modified taproot. So I hope that you have seen the radish plant from their seedling to the growing plant. I hope that you have seen when they are very young plant, the radish. I hope that at your home also, if you have seen in your garden, you have cultivated the radish. So whenever you see the radish at a very young plant, and if you pluck it, then you will see that radish, the solen or the storage of food, it resemble like a taproot. So that taproot modified and they store food in that solen radish part. So because of which these three are the example of modified taproot. So we may say that radish, then carrot, turnip, these are formed from the modified, they are formed from taproot. So because of which they are known as modified taproot. Now let us see the second type of natural vegetative propagation is propagation by stem. Now here we will discuss about how stems participate in vegetative propagation. Various stem modification is seen in vegetative propagation. So some of the common modified form of stems are: number 1, underground stem. Underground stem, some of the examples are: number 1, rhizome. So rhizome are modified stems. And what are rhizome? Perennial fleshy underground stem with continuous growth. Now let us see Example of rhizome. So example of rhizome are ginger and turmeric. So here is a diagram shown rhizome of ginger. So rhizome of ginger, you have seen the node bud or internode shown in the diagram of the ginger, and this ginger, the part which we consider as a edible part, that is known as rhizome. So that rhizome is a continuous growth, and this is a underground modified stem. Similarly, turmeric is another example of underground stem. So turmeric and ginger are the example of rhizome, and rhizome is a type of underground stem. Now, example of underground stem number 2 is tuber. So example is potato. So all of you have seen potato. So potato, it is a modified stem. So it is ultimately a modified stem, and with buds over their nodes. So some of the buds are there, and from that buds a new potato plant we may gain, or some new plants. If you want some potato plants, then with the buds over their nodes, the tuber parts we will take and we will plant it, then we will get the numbers of potato plant. So tuber or potato is an example of underground stem, and that potato, that vegetative part which participate in reproduction process, is known as tuber. Now the third example of underground stem is bulb. So what is bulb? Condensed shoot with bud. Example is onion and garlic. So here is a picture shown the onion that are planted, that the onion bulb is planted, and from there we may get numbers of onion plant. So the part which take part in asexual reproduction to increase their number is known as bulb. Type we have seen underground stem. So propagation by stem, number 1 type is underground modified stem. So underground modified stem, some of the examples are rhizome. So rhizome is the vegetative part which is a modified stem, take part in asexual reproduction, and by which they increase their number. So rhizome example is ginger and turmeric. So ginger and turmeric, the vegetative part is known as rhizome. The second one we have seen tuber. Tuber is the vegetative part of potato. Number 3 we have seen the vegetative part of onion and garlic is known as bulb. Number 4th vegetative part or underground modified stem is known as corm. So corm is the solen stems with nodes that have bud. Example is elephant yam. So here is a diagram that shows that how elephant yam corm is formed and nodes, internodes are there, and through that corm some new buds are developed, and that is labeled as scale leaf, and through that new elephant yam plant will be developed. So elephant yam, the common name or the local name is ulkosu. So everybody have, I hope that you have seen this. So Ulcosu or elephant yam is an example of underground modified stem, and the part that is present as vegetative part that take part in reproduction is known as comb. Now, number 5th underground modified stem is known as sucker. So sucker are slender branches that produce new plants after growing for some distance. Example is mint. So here is a picture that shows how mint plant grow its new plant, and you have seen the slender branches are running underground, and after some distance they produce a new plants. Types of underground modified stem. Number 1 is rhizome, example is ginger. Number 2 is tuber, example is potato. Number 3 is bulb, example is onion. Number 4 is comb, example is elephant yam. Number 5 is sucker, example is mint. So these are the 5 types of vegetative part that are known as underground modified stem, or we can say example of underground modified stems are these. Now let us move to second type of propagation by stem, that is subaerial. So now let us move from underground to just above the ground. So subaerial number 1 type is runner. So what are runners? Horizontal shoots that give out adventitious roots at the node. So example is oxalis and Centella asiatica. So oxalis means Tengesi hak, in local name is Tengesi hak, and Centella asiatica is manimuni. Now let us see with an diagram. So this is a diagram of manimuni which shows the horizontal shoots that gives out some adventitious roots at the node, and from that adventitious root, when it runs throughout the ground, it spreads, and through that adventitious roots some new plants are growing at their node. So this is an example of runner, and runner are the vegetative part that take part in reproduction process to increase the number. So manimuni have the vegetative part or which is known as runner. So example of runner is manimuni or Centella asiatica. Now second type of subaerial is stolon. So stolon are arc horizontal branches at the base of a crown. Example is strawberry. So here are the plants of strawberry, and the picture shows how stolon, which part is known as stolon. So these are the stolon parts, and can you see the crown at the base, and from that crown at the bases adventitious roots are developed, and from that adventitious roots some new plants are developed. So stolon example is strawberry. Runner example is Tengesi hak and manimuni, which are known as oxalis and Centella asiatica, and stolon example is strawberry. So these are the 2 types of subaerial parts of the plant. Now third subaerial type is offset. So offset, one internode long runners in some aquatic plants. So some of the aquatic plant vegetative part is known as offset. Example is water hyacinth. So water hyacinth, that diagram shows which part of the water hyacinth is known as offset. So this part is known as offset, and from that offset some adventitious roots will develop, and from that part again some new adventitious root will develop in the internodes, and through that new plants will develop. So far we have seen subaerial. So three type of subaerial vegetative propagations or means of vegetative propagation are runner, then stolon and offset. Runner example is manimuni, that you can keep in mind. Then stolon example is strawberry. This will be very easy to remember. Then offset example is water hyacinth. So these are the three vegetative part by which they will show vegetative propagation. So these are the subaerial. Now let us move to number 3, propagation by leaves. So far we have seen natural vegetative propagation. Number 1, propagation by roots. Then next we have seen propagation by stem. Now let us see propagation by leaves. That means leaves plays an important role in propagation. So here leaves is the means of vegetative propagation. So through leaves plants may increase their number. Leaves of many plants have adventitious buds. Such leaves, when come in contact with soil, their buds develop roots and form individual plants. So through leaves, what happens? Leaves will have some adventitious buds, and when this leaf come in contact with the soil, then from that buds new plants are developed. Example is biophyllum, and this is an example of biophyllum. So biophyllum, the common name is Duportenga. Everybody have seen? Now okay, if you have not seen, then here is a picture which shows that the leaf of the biophyllum how give rise to many biophyllum plants. Number 4, propagation by bluebills. So now let us see natural vegetative propagation, that is propagation by bluebills. So bluebills are multicellular fleshy birds that take part in vegetative propagation. So what are bluebills? These are multicellular fleshy birds that take part in vegetative propagation. So example is agave. So here is a diagram which shows the example of agave. So agave in our common language we call it as kat alu. So can you see some birds are developed, and these birds are multicellular fleshy birds that are developed and that take part in vegetative propagation. So so far we have discussed about natural vegetative propagation. So let us remember once again, natural vegetative propagation, we have discussed propagation by roots. So in propagation by roots we have discussed that how root take part in vegetative propagation. Some examples we have seen that sweet potato, then these are the then modified taproot, we have seen some of the example, radish, carrot, then turnip. Then next again we have seen propagation by second propagation by stem. So propagation by stem takes place in two ways. Then number one is underground modified stem, and second one is subaerial. So underground modified stem, some types are rhizome. Rhizome example, who will form rhizome? Ginger, turmeric. Then second one is tuber. Tuber, that vegetative part is available in potato. Number three is bulb. So bulb is the vegetative part that is found in onion and garlic. Number fourth is comb. So comb is the vegetative part that is an underground modified stem, and that is available in elephant yam. Then number fifth is sucker, and sucker example we have seen mint. So these are the 5 underground modified stem. Then again we have seen the second type of propagation by stem is subaerial. Subaerial we have seen runner, example manimuni. Then stolon, example is strawberry. Then next we have seen propagation by leaves. So propagation by leaves, example is duportenga. We have seen that from leaf part also plants are able to increase their number. Then next we have seen propagation by bluebills. So bluebills are multicellular fleshy birds that take part in vegetative propagation. So all these are the methods of natural vegetative propagation. Naturally, how plants increase their number through vegetative parts. Now let us move to the second vegetative propagation, that is artificial vegetative propagation. So in this type of vegetative propagation, new plants are formed by man-made methods. So this, as the name itself says, that it is artificial vegetative propagation. So here man involvement is seen. Man-made methods are involved in this vegetative propagation. These are cutting. Number 1 method is cutting. Number 2 is grafting. Number 3 is layering. And number 4 is micropropagation. So man-made method or artificial vegetative propagation, number 1 is cutting, number 2 is grafting, number 3 is layering, and number 4 is micropropagation. Now one by one let us see what are this method. So number 1 method is cutting. So here the term itself is cutting. So maybe some parts of the plant we will cut and we will use them in increasing the number. In cutting, in this method, cut parts of the plants are planted in the nurseries. So in cutting method, some parts of the plants are cut and they are planted. Now cutting, this can be of different types. Number 1 is root cutting. So by cutting the root also we may gain some new plants. Now this is an diagram or a picture which shows that root cutting of lemon. So by cutting the root here in the picture, it will be very clear to you that how from the root it is planted. Roots are planted, roots are developed, then again roots are planted, and from that root we are gaining new plants. So root cutting is seen in case of lemon and orange. Then number 2 is stem cutting. So stem cutting means by cutting the stem we may plant it and we may gain some new plants. So here in stem cutting, some of the example are roses, China roses, then sugarcane, bougainvillea. So here the picture shows how the rose plant is developed from the stem cutting. Number third cutting method is leaf cutting. So by cutting the leaf part, so here is a picture which shows that Sansevieria, that is the snake plant. So by taking a piece of leaf, we may gain some new plant. So I hope that you have understood that how cutting method is been practiced in plants. So cutting are of three types: root cutting, stem cutting and leaf cutting. So root cutting is applicable or we may practice in lemon, orange. Stem cutting we may practice in rose, China rose, sugarcane, etc. And leaf cutting we may practice in snake plant, biophyllum, etc. So these are the man-made method. Now let us move to the second man-made method or artificial vegetative propagation is grafting. Grafting is a technique practiced in dicots of angiosperm. So grafting is a technique which is mainly seen in dicots of flowering plants. In case of monocot, grafting is not been practiced. So grafting is a technique of joining together of the parts of two different plants in such a manner that they unite and develop as a composite plant. So in grafting, two parts of two different plants is united in such a way that after some day they will resemble like a single plant. The shoot part of the plant is known as scion and the root part of the plant is known as stalk. So from one plant we will take the stem and that stem is known as scion, and another plant we will take the rooted plant. That means already it is touched to the ground or it is rooted in the ground. So rooted part of the plant is known as stalk, and the shoot or the stem which we will take from the other plant, that is known as scion. A scion is chosen for good characteristics such as beautiful flowers or delicious fruits that it can give to the grafted plant. It is practiced in plants like mango, apple, rose, peach, etc. So grafting is most probably seen in the plants like mango, apple, rose, peach, etc. So these plants we may see or we may do grafting to increase their number. So here two plants are required. So for what purpose we are doing grafting? To have some better qualities or to have some more beautiful flowers in a single plant or to have more delicious fruits in a single plant. So here one rooted plant will be there and we will collect some better quality shoot or the stem of another plant and we will graft in the stalk. So stalk is a stable part, whereas scion is the part which we will bring to the stalk. So this is the way how grafting is done. So the diagram here below is given how grafting is done, and this is the finally how they become a composite plant. So we have seen that artificial vegetative propagation, number one type is cutting and number second is grafting. Number third is layering. So layering, in this method, adventitious roots are induced to develop on a soft stem by defaulting it and making a cut or a small injury. The injured defaulted part is placed in the soil to develop adventitious roots. Once that roots develop, the layer is separated and planted. Layering can be of following types. So these are the two types of layering. One type of layering is known as mound layering and the second one is air layering. So mound layering is seen in jasmine and strawberry. So can you see the mound layering in the picture? So diagram shows that how mound layering is performed. So have you seen that one branches of that plant, for example jasmine, it is slightly bent, that is defaulting it and making it to touch the ground, and after it touches the ground, then from there some adventitious root will develop, and after developing the roots they will develop some new leaves will come out. Then after that what happen, we may cut that part. So by detaching that part we may get a new plant. So this method is known as mound layering. Another method is air layering. So air layering, bark tissue is removed, then some moist soil is put on that portion. Then after that what happen, polythene tied to retain moisture. So after that what happen, we may see that some new leaves will come out, and after that what happen, new leaves will come out. So already leaves are there, so at that bark portion which is removed from that tissue, some adventitious roots will come out. So after the roots comes out, then again we will cut that portion and we may plant it and we may get a separate plant. So this method is known as air layering. So air layering is seen in lychee, then China rose also it may show layering. So this is the way how through layering we may get some new plants. Number fourth process is micro propagation. In this method some cells or tissues or organs are cultured, and this process is known as tissue culture. This process is known as tissue culture. So here the picture shows how tissue culture or micro propagation is done. So micro propagation, that means micro means very small, micro in a very minute way that processing is done. In this method, propagation of plants by culturing the cells, tissues and organs called as tissue culture. So tissue culture is another name of micro propagation. Initially this forms an undifferentiated mass of cell called callus. So callus are the mass of cell that we cannot differentiate. Later on this callus differentiated to form a large number of plantlets, and it is useful in obtaining virus-free plants, disease-free plants, quick commercial production of different types of plants. So micropropagation is useful for obtaining virus-free plants, disease-free plants, quick commercial production of different types of plants. This micropropagation is done. So micropropagation is a artificial vegetative propagation through which as our desire we may develop some virus-free plants, disease-free plants, and we may produce as we want the number of the plants. So these are the 4 types of artificial vegetative propagation. So number 1 is cutting, number 2 is grafting, number 3 is layering, and number 4 is micro propagation. So here it shows that how micro propagation is been done in the lab. So here how the plant is growing. So with this, today we have discussed about asexual reproduction in higher plant, which is also known as vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation are of two types: natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. So with this, we complete asexual reproduction in lower organism as well as in the higher plant. So I hope that all of you have understood what is asexual reproduction and how does it occurs in plants. So next class we will discuss on sexual reproduction. I hope that all of you have understood, and if you have any queries, if you have any problem regarding any topic, you may mail to me. Okay, my email address is given to you, and if you have any problem regarding any topic that we have discussed in lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3, you are very much welcome to question me and you may mail me. Okay, so for today we may wind up here. So thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe, and give some time to study too. And I have something to say that only few of you have submitted your home assignments. So for you, 15th May is the last day to submit your assignment. So I hope that you will not stay for the last moment to submit your home assignment. You will complete it. Then after you complete your home assignment, there are some more work for you to do. So have a great day.